Welcome to Mr. Fear. Tonight I've got 3 terrifying stories that will make you think twice about celebrating Halloween. From creepy party crashers to menacing clowns and eerie Ouija board sessions, these tales are sure to send shivers down your spine. So turn off the lights, grab some candy, and settle in, if you dare. Story 1: The Creepy Party Crasher. Halloween used to be one of my favorite holidays, but now I only really enjoy it if there's a decent party. Back in 2018, when I was a senior in college, my friend Tracy invited me to a big Halloween party at her sorority. She said I could bring one friend, so I invited my best buddy, Cody. As usual, Cody and I were last minute with our costumes. Cody was stuck working late, so I had to pick something up for him. I went to the nearby Spirit Halloween store, grabbed a Where's Waldo costume for myself and a Superman costume for him. Everything was going fine until I got to the cashier. He was an older guy, maybe in his 30s or 40s, with glasses and a receding hairline. He seemed awkward. As I was chatting on the phone with Cody about the party details, where it was, which sorority, the address, I noticed the cashier listening in. As he rang up my items, he said something like, "Sounds like you've got a fun party tonight, huh?" I chuckled, said, "Yeah," but then he started asking more questions, like if it was open invite and if there'd be lots of girls. I told him it was closed, barely got an invite myself, and that was that. He introduced himself as Mike and shook my hand, which felt kind of strange. I left feeling unsettled. Later that night, Cody and I showed up to the party. It was packed, people everywhere, music blasting. After a while, a commotion started by the door. A girl was shouting for Tracy. Turns out some older guy dressed as a cowboy had shown up and was acting really creepy, trying to get one of the girls alone in a room. She screamed for help, and he bolted, taking something with him. Immediately, I thought of the cashier from Spirit Halloween. I told the others, and the whole vibe of the party shifted. We stayed for a little while longer, but eventually, we left. As we were driving, we noticed a car following us. It made every turn we did, and Cody and I both knew it had to be him. I pulled over, daring him to follow, but he just sped past us. We didn't get a good look, but I'm sure it was him. After I dropped Cody off, I kept an eye on the car in the distance. It was still following me, headlights off. I was freaked out, but managed to lose him. The next day, I called Spirit Halloween and reported the cashier. I never found out what happened to him. Looking back, I wonder if I should have done more. But all I know is I'm glad he never found out where I lived. Story 2: The Clown's Halloween Night, 2019. It was the scariest night of my life. I live in Australia, where Halloween isn't as big as it is in other places, so we only get a few trick-or-treaters. That year, though, a storm rolled in, and my efforts at decorating went to waste. I was chilling in the living room, watching The Conjuring, when my friend M messaged the group chat, suggesting we go trick-or-treating. We hadn't gone in years, but I figured, why not? I met up with my friends S, C, and H, and we decided to hit a house. M suggested, one that supposedly had a ton of candy. When we got there, we found a pumpkin bowl full of lollipops on the porch. We emptied it out, leaving a few to avoid suspicion, and turned to leave. That's when we saw them. 2 men dressed as clowns, slowly walking up the driveway toward us, grinning, heads tilted. Creeped out, we started to back away, but suddenly they bolted at us, one of them squeaking his rubber nose as they chased us. After what felt like forever, we finally lost them. We went to M's house to figure out what had just happened, but when we got there, M was confused. He hadn't sent that message. Turns out he'd lost his phone earlier that day, and whoever found it had set us up. Later that night, when I got home, I went outside to check the candy bowl I'd left out. To my horror, it was empty. and inside the bowl was a clown nose. That's when I knew they had followed me home. Around 1 a.m., I woke up to rocks tapping against my bedroom window. Against my better judgment, I looked outside. My Halloween decorations were scattered across the yard, destroyed. Then I saw them. Those same two clowns, perched on my neighbor's roof, staring down at me. I screamed, ran to my parents' room, and we called the police. The clowns were never found, but the police told us the house we trick-or-treated at had been abandoned for years. We also learned that M's phone was found inside the house. Now, with Halloween just weeks away, I can't help but wonder if they'll come back. It was a stormy Halloween night, and my friends John, Mary, Keenan, and I were just hanging around with no real plans. I had the bright idea to bring out the Ouija board. Everyone was on board, so I set the mood with 3 candles, turned off the lights, and we all sat down at the table. We started off asking the usual questions, and the planchette started moving. At first, we were laughing, figuring it was one of us moving it. But then it spelled out, "I'm inside the house." We all laughed nervously, but suddenly a loud thump echoed from the ceiling, right above us. It sounded like a heavy boot stomping on the floor. Mary started freaking out, and honestly, so did I. But before we could process it, the doorbell rang. It was just a dad and his kid trick-or-treating, but the eerie feeling didn't go away. Afterward, I convinced everyone to come upstairs with me to check out the noise. As we reached the hallway, we heard a girl's voice coming from my parents' room, followed by the sound of something dropping. Mary and Keenan bolted downstairs, but John and I kept going. I pushed the door open and saw something tall, standing in the corner of the room. I slammed the door shut and we ran downstairs, terrified. We called the cops, and when they arrived, the officer checked the room. There was no one there. Every closet, under the bed, nothing. We were freaked out beyond belief. After that night, I threw the Ouija board in the neighbor's trash, and we never touched it again. Thanks for watching, Mr. Fear. If these stories gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more terrifying content. Stay safe out there, and until next time, sweet dreams.